If you want to play one of the highest-rated strategy games of the 2000s today, you won't find it on Steam or GOG. The Battle for Middle-earth franchise is effectively missing from every modern digital storefront. Electronic Arts lost the Lord of the Rings IP rights years ago. That expiration trapped the games in legal limbo, turning them into abandonware that no one is legally allowed to sell. But the player base stayed active. They built a massive, fractured ecosystem of custom patches, total conversions, and ground-up engine remakes to keep the game alive. For new players, this means navigating a maze of conflicting download guides for gigabyte-heavy mods like Age of the Ring or Edain, without knowing which one actually fits their playstyle. We are going to decode the mechanical differences between these community versions to match the right download to what you actually want out of a strategy game. Most players navigating this space fall into three distinct profiles: the narrative purist, the spectacle general, or the engine tinkerer. Finding the best version is a matter of aligning the underlying base-building mechanics with your specific RTS preferences. The entire franchise is split into two camps based on one specific rule: how you construct your base. The first game uses a fixed plot system with predetermined building nodes. This restricts creativity, but enforces chess-like map control, requiring you to physically push out for territory. The sequel's free build mechanics let you drop structures anywhere, like a traditional RTS. This lack of restriction increases the speed of the game. It turns matches into a fast-paced, high-action experience driven by unit micromanagement and visual scale. However, the free build system exposes the engine's limits. The computer AI struggles to place buildings logically and often has to rely on artificial resource boosts to remain a threat. These original vanilla games created a permanent divide between players who prefer slow, curated map control and those who want fast, chaotic combat. Today, the vast majority of the community actually plays within the modding ecosystem rather than the original unpatched games. The current heavyweight is the Age of the Ring mod for the second game. It expands the roster with hundreds of new models and textures that blend into the original aesthetic, while significantly increasing the unit detail. Because it's built on the sequel's engine, Age of the Ring keeps that frantic pacing. It also remains capped at 30 frames per second because it still relies on the aging SAGE engine. The other major contender is the Edain mod, which is built for the Rise of the Witch King expansion. Edain takes the free build engine of the sequel and forces it back into the restricted, fixed plot system of the first game. This provides massive tactical depth, though Edain can feel less balanced and a bit more clunky in its unit controls compared to the high-polish experience of Age of the Ring. These mods offer more playable factions and unit types than the official games ever did, provided you can tolerate the technical limits of 20-year-old software. For players who want to escape those frame rate caps, the community is attempting several ambitious engine remakes. BFME Reforged is the most famous project, promising a ground-up recreation with 4K resolution and a smooth 60 frames per second. But Reforged is at high risk. Because it uses unlicensed intellectual property, the corporate legal entities that hold the rights could shut the project down with a cease and desist at any moment. The alternative is OpenSAGE. Instead of distributing the game files, it rebuilds the engine code from scratch and requires players to use their own original assets to run it. OpenSAGE will offer unlocked frame rates, modern game installers, and reliable multiplayer netcode. However, OpenSAGE is currently focused on back-end file support. Actual gameplay and combat are still years away from being finished. Fan remakes are an interesting look at the future, but if you want to command an army in Middle-earth today, you have to rely on the existing patched clients. This decision tree will route you past the installation guides and directly to your ideal setup. The first split is simple. Do you care more about the narrative campaign or the spectacle of skirmish matches? If you are a narrative purist, we follow the first branch. Your best option is the Battle for Middle-earth 1 all-in-one launcher on patch 2.22. This offers a strategic campaign where you name, upgrade, and keep your units across the entire story. For the Spectacle General, we follow the second branch to the next question. Do you want a tactical pace or a fast pace? If you want massive battles but prefer a slower, more methodical building style, you should download the Edain mod. It gives you the widest variety of factions while keeping the strategic depth of the first game's build plots. If you want that same scale but prefer fast-paced micromanagement and free building, your ideal setup is Age of the Ring. It is the most visually consistent and polished free build project available today. Just remember that all of these options require you to accept a 30 frame per second cap for now. The community's fragmentation is actually its greatest asset. It offers enough variety to satisfy nearly any RTS playstyle. By choosing a base building philosophy first, you can finally find the version of